6 bells in the Pacific time zone. For these folks, Friday night continues. Dawn, still an hour and a half away. But tonight in prime time, inside hostile and loud and rowdy Autzen City, and the Ducks, where they've won 19 in a row, welcome the still untested Arizona State team. College Game Day from Eugene on the U right now.
College Game Day, live from Eugene, Oregon, is built by the Home Depot. Proud sponsor of college football's premier pregame show.
Memorial Quad on the Oregon campus. First time spot for us. And the trademark Oregon spirit and fervor on full display here. They do it earlier and louder and darker than anywhere. Wrap your head around the fact that these are college kids and it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a tavern just a stone's throw that way. The confetti in the air.
The confetti over
Take
here.
this in back here.
Stage right.
Wow.
Yeah, confetti coming in.
I thought those were bubbles.
I did too for a second.
Bubbles.
Somebody, is it 5 out here? What time is it?
I tell you what day is it?
I forgot. It's Friday night for them. I asked them. Oh, yeah. Nobody slept down here.
Hey, if you need motivation to do a show early in the morning, just look directly behind us.
Down here.
That's motivation.
Kickoff's only what, like
Kelly Rowland,
12 hours
Lil
away?
Wayne style motivation.
13 hours from now?
Yeah.
State, the Ducks.
Oh, man.
They never disappoint, I tell you that.
Look at it.
It's a rookie Duck.
A rookie Duck.
One of his first big home games.
Yeah.
And Michael James with the elbow problem, the Grizzly injury. Wants to see the field, but how will D'Anthony Thomas, Dat, and Barner pick up the slack? Coming back on the U.
College Game Day is built by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Nice little charity event here yesterday in Eugene, Oregon. Pie your professor. That's accounting professor Joel Sneed.
How do I get involved in that?
Why did I get
Have you ever had a
involved
pie
in
in
that
your
at the
face?
University of Florida?
That's like a baseball tradition. They do that stuff in baseball all the time. Yeah.
My GPA needed that big time. A little payback for some of my professors.
Great talent, great speed, great athleticism back there. If I was on defense, I'd be able to tell you better, but thank God I'm not, because I don't think I'd be able to last a couple of series.
They get into that secondary, they're hard to tackle and they're hard to catch. You give them one crease, they can take it to the house.
The tempo that they play at amplifies that team speed that they have.
And he's gone! LaMichael James, baby, not gonna catch that man!
They can do it all. They can run, they can catch.
Touchdown! Another Oregon touchdown! They can do it pretty fast, can't they?
It really stresses you because of the speed that they possess and their physical tools, but also, you know, their knowledge and how we can move them around and use them in different spots.
Oregon Duck fans have been in awe of the Ducks' backfield here for many years. Fast, quick. What other words would you use?
Little. That's the hardest part.
Effective.
Being that fast, that little, you can't even tackle him.
One of the biggest stories to come out of Eugene really last Thursday versus Cal. Running back LaMichael James on his way to a fantastic night, and then came the fourth quarter. James dislocated his right elbow, a gruesome injury. The x-rays came back negative, and James said he would not be lost for this season. The word coming out of tonight, extremely doubtful to play against Arizona State. Now, here's a little note for you. James did dislocate that same elbow back in high school when he was a junior, and he did return the very next game. Last night, our Tom Rinaldi met up with head coach Chip Kelly.
Coach, what's the status of LaMichael James heading into the game?
We'll see tomorrow, and any time we have an injury with a player, it's totally in the doctor's hands with our player, and we're not going to put him in harm's way. But he's a warrior, and I know he wants to play, but we may have to hold him back. But we'll make a decision tomorrow, but it'll always be in the best interest of him.
If he's unable to go, you certainly have some depth at the position, but how does that change your offensive game plan?
We're fortunate where it doesn't, you know, and even when he was in, it wasn't like, well, Michael's out for a play, call a different play because this is what's in. We're fortunate to have Kenyon Barner and D'Anthony Thomas and Trey Carson, and if LaMichael can't go, we're going to go with those three guys, and then we'll be the same offense that everybody expects out of Oregon.
What challenges does Brock Osweiler, a 6'8" quarterback, pose for your defense?
Yeah, he's kind of like the Ben Roethlisberger of college football. He's extremely hard to bring down, extremely athletic. You know, turned down numerous basketball scholarships. Can run for a big kid, sees over the line, throws the ball, gets it out of his hand very quickly. You know, he makes it difficult to blitz him because he recognizes things so quickly and the ball's out. But he's definitely going to be a handful for our defense.
Chip, we appreciate it. Best of luck.
Okay,
Thanks very much. Chip Kelly.
So who will fill LaMichael James' shoes, David? We'll start with junior Kenyon Barner.
Yeah, Kenyon Barner had an opportunity last year when LaMichael James was suspended the first game of the season. Did pretty well. He had 17 carries, 155 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
And then freshman D'Anthony Thomas.
Yeah, freshman come on the scene, beat USC late. And this is another guy that's talked about with more speed than LaMichael James and Kenyon Barner. Leading receiver, second leading rusher. You're going to see a lot of D'Anthony Thomas today.
He had a big game against Cal, too.
Yeah, he did.
Touchdowns.
Des, you mentioned you didn't know LaMichael actually dislocated that elbow in high school. You know, Chip Kelly kind of having some fun with this injury, if you can, saying Raja and Rondo dislocated it, and he came back a little different playing hoops. What's the impact of this injury for the Ducks?
Well, I think the impact is how it affects the offense as far as the offensive line are concerned. Now, LaMichael James is what you call a quick-to-the-hole back, meaning he hits the hole very fast. Kenyon Barner is a similar player, but he's not the same. So that means the offensive line, they're going to have to hold that block 1 or 2 extra ticks just so Barner can get through the hole. And then the wideouts. I think that Arizona State's defense is going to probably test those guys, put 8 in the box, and tighten up the coverage. And once the wideouts have man-to-man coverage, they have to really work on their technique getting open. And then Thomas, the quarterback, he's going to have to be more accurate with his throws because the windows are going to be a lot smaller.
And the biggest impact for me is you think about this is the leading rusher on your team. This is the second leading punt returner in the country. This is 35% of your offense. And now you have to take D'Anthony Thomas, who is your #1 wide receiver, and use him more in the running back game. The one thing about Kenyon Barner, he is electric. He is dynamic. But he's also been banged up. Can he carry the load? LaMichael James, you can give him 30 touches. He's been the between-the-tackles runner. He's been tough. So who fills that void now out at wide receiver? Now it hurts your depth. So definitely impacts the team today moving forward.
Oregon Ducks may want LaMichael James back when they see Stanford Cardinal in a couple of weeks. And speaking of Stanford, they head to Washington State. This is their last game before the bye week. Before the game against Oregon. What does Stanford need to concentrate on before that bye week?
You know, I think I've fallen in the trap with everybody else. It's kind of like, you know, Stanford, it's just a cute little story, Andrew Luck. Not so fast. I mean, you look at these guys, their last 8 wins have been by at least 25 points. This is a dominant football game or team. And when you look at Andrew Luck, number 12, touching the ball every time, an offensive snap, second leading defense in the nation against the run, this is a very, very good football team.
Very talented team. What they have to protect against right now is not falling to the level of their competition. They have to maintain a high level, the high standards that they have set for themselves, and play that way week in and week out, even though they have a bye week. Because we've been in that situation before. Got a bye week coming up. You're kind of thinking about that because, you know, your opponent isn't somebody who you're really worried about. So now, you know, they have to, in my opinion, they have to protect against that type of being complacent and content.
You can tell this crowd a little quiet. We mentioned Stanford. Silencio taking a break. That's okay. Coming up on College Game Day, we'll talk a little bit more about the BCS. We'll bring in our guru, Brad Edwards, and some early Saturday selections. Who's on upset alert? Des and David just around the corner.
It's time to kick off. To your city.
These fans out here really at 5 a.m.
5 a.m.?
That's better than they probably do going to class. Here's a look at from our Cheez It Real fan cam. Ducks flying around. There's bugs I've never seen flying around out here. We've got them on the set, running around in the lights. Bugs fans, Oregon dance team, everybody's excited about that one. We're excited that our BCS analyst Brad Edwards is joining us. We'll get to him in just a second. Kirk Street back on the desk. Very excited about that. Here's a look at the AP Top 10 SEC teams 1 and 2. BCS, of course, comes out tomorrow, and barring any upsets today, LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama should occupy the top 3 spots. Like we mentioned, Brad Edwards here. All right, LSU, Alabama, we know. Can you pay attention that they meet up on November 5th? I feel like a teacher up here.
Alabama, LSU could rematch is if every other major conference has a champion with a loss. There's no chance the loser of that game is going to get the nod over an undefeated team.
All right, Brad, break this one down for me. LSU, Alabama winner. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, let's say cancel each other out. Let's say Oklahoma wins out, for argument's sake. Wisconsin wins out, and let's say Stanford wins out. Do these teams from these other conferences have any chance?
Well, no. I mean, you're talking 4 undefeated teams right there. I mean, you're talking...
So who would be at the top?
You're talking SEC, Big 12
given
for the national championship.
Given.
And then you've got Big 10, Pac-12, undefeated. I mean, arguably the greatest Rose Bowl ever. A couple of undefeated teams.
That'd be nice.
But the Oregon Ducks have something to say about Stanford.
They'll have
right?
something to say about it. The BCS next summer will meet and decide what its next format is. Do we want a +1? If you've got undefeated teams from the Big 10, the Pac-12 playing the Rose Bowl, and neither one of them gets a shot at the national championship,
we should be pulling for that.
If you want a +1, root for that.
I'm a fan of the +1.
What about, we've talked about ad nauseum the best 3 teams in the country, Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma. What about the next tier of undefeateds? If Oklahoma State does slip up, who's that next team? Wisconsin, Clemson. Who's the next team to be undefeated?
Yeah, like I said, I think Oklahoma State would be the one in that group. But outside of them, I'm leaning a little bit towards Stanford. I think it's close between Stanford and Wisconsin.
Can you believe this guy?
Now, obviously, Stanford has to go undefeated, which means they've got to get past Oregon.
Right.
But if Stanford wins out, I mean, they've got a chance to pad that schedule at the end. You've got Oregon, you've got Notre Dame, and then possibly Arizona State in the Pac-12 championship game. But if they win all those, it's not going to be decided by the computers between Stanford and Wisconsin. It will be decided by the voters. My belief is that if it comes down to it, the voters would love to see Andrew Luck take on the Alabama or LSU defense.
He thinks Stanford is going to run the table, I guess is what you're saying.
Oh, is that what I said?
I guess that's what you're getting.
I feel like Nancy Grace up here. Bombshell tonight. If Oklahoma State goes undefeated, they will jump ahead of either LSU or Alabama.
Opinion.
Bombshell,
hey,
Nancy Grace.
It's not an opinion. It's computers and facts.
That's in the computers.
They'll be at the worst case.
Yeah, but see, they have an SEC championship game, though, for Alabama. I don't know that worst
I
case
think Oklahoma State will be number 2.
I think they'll be 2. I don't think they can be
one. But I think they could be one in the computers.
On College Game Day, there's no rivalry like sibling rivalry. And how about fashion in college football? The fans to log on to ESPN.com, search Chevrolet to play Chevrolet virtual Saturday selections, and stay tuned for Saturday selections later on in the show. David and Des back with me. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. How did you do last week with your picks? Do you know?
I told you I don't keep score.
I don't remember what I did last week.
I think I was perfect. I think I was...
no, you were. We both picked the same.
Yeah, I think, we were perfect. Yeah,
all right, so perfection all around. Let's see how they do this week. It'll be a wild, crazy atmosphere here tonight in Eugene, Oregon, and that's what I want to hear from you next. Arizona State in town. What do you like?
I think Arizona State can keep this game close. I really do. Brock Osweiler is playing well at the quarterback position. Oregon's defense is not as good as it was a year ago. They don't have the depth to rotate in and out. But in the end, they still have the speed. They still have the athletes. So I think it's the Ducks. I think the Ducks get the W.
You guys like that back there, huh? You like that? I didn't know if that was the O or the Rockefeller sign, the diamond. I didn't know what that was. I got Oregon. Yeah, I got Oregon because, you know, it's too much offense. When you look at Arizona State's defense, Vontaze Burfict, he's not the same player he was 2 years ago. So I think they don't have enough on defense to get into a shootout and then last that game. So I think Oregon wins this game big.
Even without LaMichael James.
Exactly.
I don't agree with you. We'll see what happens. That's the only one I'm going to pick.
Turn around and say to them.
Nope.
Say to them.
No.
If you want a little thing in your tang, come along. Come along. Come along. Come along. Yeah, we're coming through your city.
Hey, welcome back to Eugene, Oregon. I don't even know how long this crowd has been here.
They're representing, though. I will say that. Y'all were right about the crowd. This is crazy.
Oh, they're nuts. Wait till it fills in later on. And, of course, this matchup not even until 7:15 Pacific time. We're at the midpoint of the season.
It's like halftime, baby.
It flew by, didn't you, your first year on College Game Day? How is it going, by the way, with your spectacular co-host?
Oh, it's just wonderful. I'm so thankful.
Did you...
Wink, wink.